We've all seen it in the news. Someone defends themselves or their loved ones only to find themselves fighting a legal battle that can cost everything. Mortgage payments, retirement savings, even their kids' college funds, gone, just to prove they did nothing wrong. That's why Firearms Legal Protection, the official sponsor of Every Citizen Armed, exists. For as little as 33 cents a day, FLP gives you unlimited legal defense for criminal and civil cases. No caps, no hidden fees, no surprise bills. If you have to defend yourself, FLP will handle the legal battle so you can focus on what matters: your family, your future, your freedom. We insure our homes, cars, and health. Why wouldn't we protect ourselves legally when it matters most? Go to firearmslegal.com, choose your plan, and use promo code ECA at checkout for exclusive pricing. No setup fee and a locked-in lifetime rate. Protect yourself today, and Firearms Legal Protection will have your back when it matters most.
Every Citizen Armed ensures that every American patriot is prepped with knowledge, perspective, and firepower.
He counted on America to be passive. He counted wrong.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with the next episode of Every Citizen Armed. Today, we're joined by Matt Trammel. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, sir.
Trammel, Matt Trammel with the Bakersfield Police Department, but also he leads the 999 Foundation. Mm-hmm. And you could correct me if I use the wrong terminology. If you're leading it, you're running it, you're the big factor over there.
I'm the CFO.
You're the CFO. Okay,
Yep.
There you go. That's you keep them in line. And you've done that for some time, but you've been with the BPD for quite a while now.
Yeah, 18 years, more than 18 years now.
18. So you've seen a lot of change over the years, but in that, what brought you into law enforcement? Because that's always an interesting fact for people to look at. They go, how did I start doing this? And what got you into it?
So it's funny, my dad was a blue-collar guy, owned a steel company, really thought I was going to end up doing what he was doing, take over the business. But from a little kid, I just loved, that's what I wore for Halloween as a cop outfit, played cops and robbers in the backyard. Had a neighbor and then later and an uncle that were both law enforcement, and I just was infatuated with what they did. In high school, I had a good friend of mine that her dad was a police officer, and he got me hooked with a couple ride-alongs when I was like 16 years old and had some awesome times, including coming right up on a bank robbery and getting to see the guy and having to grab the radio and like put it out because my partner, the officer that was there, his radio wasn't working. And so I was just like, this is it. I have to do this. This is what I want to do. And then also, I wanted something. So I wanted something that for my way to serve God. And this is my way to serve the people of Bakersfield in a way that's in a godly manner. So that's what I do.
That's pretty impressive, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. So 18 years. You're a family man.
Yes, sir.
You don't talk a lot about the family, but talk what you can. I've met your family. I think it's pretty amazing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that shows through because I think it's great to humanize. Mm-hmm. You guys always show up on the roughest day of somebody's life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's you can't all be firemen.
Yeah. yeah. In fact, actually, my son's trying to be one now, and I'm proud as heck of him. But I always say, hey, we love our second responders. We love our second responders. We love them. No, I'm kidding, fire guys. I'm kidding. We love you.
Well, all firemen want to be cops. All the cops want to be
that's
firemen. But they show up to save the day. You guys you truly show up to save the day. But
we all have our own niche.
Exactly. But I think that's important to put a little kind of humanize what you're doing because you do show up on those rough days. So how do you balance that? Because you seem to be balanced.
It's very hard. There was a time in my career where I was completely unbalanced. I was upside down. I wasn't keeping things together. That's where the true spirit of my wife came through, where my church came through. Where our peer support program for the Bakersfield Police Department started coming through and really helped me kind of balance things out. I was able to start to learn how to say no to showing up to everything.
Yeah.
Because I was out of the house way more than I was in the house. And, 18, 20-hour days. It really got to me. So, it's been a long road to get to where I'm at now. But I feel I'm very happy to be where I'm at, very fruitful where I'm at. And, my kids are a huge part of that, bringing them back.
That's what I noticed when I first met you. And I guess it was probably a couple years ago, actually, when we met. And you just seemed very, very pleased and very happy with where you're at. And I think that carries over. And I think that's a really good sign for the BPD, for law enforcement in general.
Yeah, I feel like that's home to me. I've been very well taken care of by the BPD. Everybody's had their issues, but they've been there for me when I needed them, and I've been there for them.
Yeah.
So.
No, if you find somebody's happy at their job every single day, they're lying.
Yeah, true, for sure, right? For sure.
We all have that. So in that, so you went through the academy 18 years ago, 19 years ago, whatever you did. My son was in law enforcement. He went through the academy. What was the academy like back then?
Oh, so I appreciate the academy they're going through now, but it was a lot different back then. So I went through the academy in 2006 or 7, and I went to the sheriff's academy, and it was brutal. It was very physically demanding. The study portions, the testing portions were hard, but it was the physicals what really got you. Every morning on the grinder, you just, working your butt off. I can remember it being 100 plus degrees outside and doing push-ups on the asphalt and getting like blister burns, on my hands. Yeah. Getting to the point where now you got to do them on your knuckles because your hands are so burnt. So you're doing them on your knuckles.
Oh, wow.
It was a learning experience. It was something that I was not prepared for. I was in pretty good shape, but not like some of these other guys. And man, they got me in shape. I can tell you that much.
You will be when you come out.
Yeah,
that's what I noticed actually.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be exactly what you need to be when you come out. Now, if you can keep it up, that's up to you. But
and that's experience. Donnie Youngblood sat here with us one day. And we talked about that a little bit, and we've had a couple of law enforcement about how you keep yourself in shape. But
Thank you.
But there's a lot of folks that have struggled with that.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see some of the requirements come into play, but.
Yeah,
that's easier for me to say. I'm not out there doing it.
Yeah, so the stress of this job really does make it difficult to keep your nutrition in balance, keep your motivation to stay physical in balance, and the long hours. So I do understand how it can happen. I mean, I'm not in the best shape that I want to be in. I'm in good enough shape that I can still do my job well and I can enjoy my kids and have fun. But right now I'm starting my whole new fitness journey for the new year, because everybody tries to get fit in, January 1st. So we'll see we'll talk to me again in summer and see if I'm disappointed or not. How's that?
Yeah. See if you're ready for the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that one. I'm in outside sales. And when I started that, I'd never done it before. And I started back in 2011. And I talked to one of the guys he's done that for years. And he said, well, the thing you got to remember is you're going to gain 5 pounds for every year you do this job. Because you're just sitting behind the wheel of a car. Yeah. Well, you guys are too. I mean, your eating habits.
Wait till they're
abnormal.
Detective. Yeah, detective. Yeah. You're not even getting that. You're not even getting it out of a car constantly anymore. You're just behind a computer typing away, and
that's not hard. Not easy on you.
It's hard.
So you go through the academy. You come out of that. I can't imagine. How old were you then? What, 20?
Oh, 21. Yeah, 21, 22.
Yeah, you walk into the street.
Oh.
How wide-eyed were you?
Oh, my gosh. And I was a sheltered kid.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I'm telling you. So my dad owned a steel shop over off of East Terrace Way. It's no longer there. So I grew up with some of the neighborhood kids there, hanging out with them. And so that's like Union. There was an old hotel back there that was called the Desert Star Inn. I don't know if you've ever heard any of the stories there.
I've actually driven by it because we went to the fairgrounds an awful lot when the kids were showing animals, and we'd see.
Oh, all the crazy was happening there. So I thought I knew kind of what Bakersfield was about, and I'd kind of traveled around, but my first few nights on the street, especially as a ride along at 16 years old and being with some real rad officers, like real good officers, it was a pretty good shock. It's a pretty good shock to me.
Who did you look up to when you came out?
Well, I'm going to name drop a couple guys. So my mentor for me getting onto the police department was a guy named Roy Wesson. He was his daughter and I were very close for a long time, and he was the example. He was the epitome of like the perfect Hollywood cop. He was like boots were perfect, badge was perfect. I would take my written school reports over there and he would correct them. To try to make sure that I was better. Then a guy named Brian Sandrini was a dear friend of mine. He's retired as well. Just a big country guy, but just liked by everybody and just was in control of any situation we were in. He was 100%, in the moment and could control an entire crowd with just his voice.
Oh, nice.
And then, there's a bunch of guys, but
you gotta have
those are
the
the two
mentors.
guys. Yeah, those are my mentors.
Okay.
Guys I look up to, man, Straticus, Brent Stratton, Assistant Chief Brent Stratton. He's
okay.
amazing. You've had Ted King on here. Ted King, I mean, everybody loves the King. He's awesome.
You told me that story. Can you share that story a little bit?
I can.
Because that's an awesome story about Ted.
So I'm a baby copper on patrol, meaning I was a couple years on. I was riding by myself, and we just changed shifts. And I look at the our computer on the car, and one of them comes up to my call that I'm getting ready to go to go on a call with. One of the guys was dispatched with me. It comes up, and it was a new format, so it's a little bit different. And it says the King, like THE. King, King. And I thought, well, that's an awesome call sign. Like, that's the best call sign ever, right? Like, who is this guy?
You win. Yeah,
this guy's got to be a badass, right? And so I finally get to the call, and I'm like, hey, who's this guy? Another unit got there, another baby copper with me had got there, and I was like, who's the King? He's like, I don't know. And we're both kind of going back and forth, and Ted King shows up, and we're like, oh, Theodore King, the King, his first three letters. Okay, now we get it. But yeah, it was. I told him about that one day, and he thought that was the best thing ever. So, yeah, so we called him the King for a little while.
It fits. He's a pretty big, imposing guy.
He's a great guy, and what's funny is you can look at him and you can see how he would fit the physical criteria of someone that would be above everybody, like too good for everybody. But you know what? You can sit and talk to that guy about anything, and he'll remember the conversation 6 months later. He'll check on you if it's something bad, if something happened. One of the great inspirations in our department. So same thing with Straticus, Brent Stratton.
Yeah,
I mean, another great guy. So, yeah.
So how do you get more young people involved to come into the law enforcement world?
That's hard, and that's something that our department is definitely struggling with. It's yeah. Yeah, Straticus. Yeah, he's had that name since. Well, he was in the gang unit well before I was, and that's where he picked up that name. So Stratton or Straticus. So
absolutely,
yeah. But yeah, it's definitely something that's difficult. We're not seen in the best of light right now. The pendulum swings back and forth. In 18 years, I've seen it swing. Right now, it seems like we're kind of coming back to center a little bit. It is improving, but a lot of people have a distaste for law enforcement, no matter what type of law enforcement you are. If you have a gun and badge, you're negative. It doesn't matter if you're the person out arresting, child rapists and making sure that there's not a school shooter, or if you're the guy that's doing crimes and doing bad things on duty and stuff like that. You're just recognized as just a cop. So I think some of the things that people should look forward to for if they want to get into law enforcement is first thing is camaraderie, right? If you're getting into it, I was a field training officer for a number of years. Had I don't know, 20 or so guys that were in my car at some point. And at some point I would ease them into a conversation that would be, hey, why do you want to be a cop? And if the first thing out of his mouth was, man, you make great pay, and I love that there's a structure, and I like the cars. Man, I know that guy probably wasn't going to make it to the end of training. If you're not committed wholeheartedly, with like a compassion-filled heart and a heart full of service, you're not going to do well here. You might get 4 or 5 years out of you, but you ain't going to make it the long ways.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for the camaraderie, if you're looking for service, if you want to serve somebody, and I mean, I think I've only ever been on calls where I've known in 18 years, I've only been on probably 24 calls where the principal subjects involved were people that I knew, that I was caring for people that I knew. Everything else, it was complete strangers.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not going out to help your family and friends. You're out to help complete strangers. Now, some of the fun stuff you get to do is pretty lengthy.
Sure.
I mean, you get to shoot guns. You get to carry some amazing equipment. The training is amazing. Is some of the training that we go to is considered the best training in the world. And when talking to other departments, they don't get to go to this kind of stuff. Our in-house training, I went through operator school, SWAT operator school, and we did it in house. Hey, this guy's Danny Champness and Ronnie Jeffries, all these guys.
We've had Ronnie on.
Yeah. Hey, these guys are no bullshit rock stars when it comes to this, weapon manipulation tactics. They are squared away. I went through that school thinking, okay, we're going to go to Baker. Okay, cop training sometimes can be, when it's in-house, can be kind of monotonous and slow, and you're just trying to hit the buttons right here, or hit the checks. No, you came out of there a fighter with what they trained us, and they very knowledgeable. So
I got that impression from Ronnie Jeffries. He was not going to check boxes.
Oh no,
he sat there for a good hour, and you could just tell he was not checking boxes.
No, that's not that kind of guy.
No,
not at all.
I do look forward to going through one of his classes one day, just because.
Yeah,
it would be interesting.
I think you'd have fun, and I think that no matter how many years on you have, or how many years with firearms you have, it's always good to take additional training, because it just familiarizes yourself with the gun, gets you getting used to even just the weight of the gun, or maybe you bought a new holster in the last 2 years and it's just a little bit different. It's all a good idea to go through. So,
well, one of the things we always push on here, I mean, obviously the name is every citizen armed, but if you're going to own a firearm and you're going to carry a firearm, you need to get out and practice with that firearm.
You got to shoot the heck out of that thing.
It is. And I know the state of California has made it very hard. They've, tried to price everybody out of the market with the taxes on ammunition and guns and all the different things. To me, when I look at that, it only hurts the single mothers and things that want to protect their families. Yeah. But I think it does make it harder for folks to get out there and really practice. But you've got to do it. Otherwise, you shouldn't. If I'm not out shooting, I don't feel comfortable carrying mine.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And you got to know everything about it. And it's not, you got to know how to take it down, or break it down rather. But yeah, absolutely. We shoot quite a bit, not just as a profession, but I shoot off duty with my family. My girls all have guns that are for them when they're older, when they're able to manipulate it themselves. Until then, dad holds it or dad helps them. Sure. I'm very hands-on. But we practice gun safety all the time. They walk around the backyard with BB guns and it's muzzle up. It's we're very, they might as well have 50 BMGs in their hands, not a BB, 68 BB gun.
Right.
And it's important in teaching your kids about firearms, so they know how to not just avoid them, or not be afraid of them, but so that if they do come in a situation where they find one that, out in public and it's on the ground, they can help their friends stay away from it. They can help educate the people around them. Hey, don't mess with that. They see somebody doing something dumb, call them out on it, remove themselves from the situation, remove themselves and their friends away from the situation. My girl, at any time I can request my girls go into the safe and grab what I ask them to get. And I have full confidence that they can get what they need, what I'm asking them to, and bring it to me in a safe manner.
Yeah, that's responsible. Yeah. That's responsible gun ownership. I wish more folks would really invest their time into understanding that.
Yeah.
It's generally the folks that are against gun ownership have never owned a gun, never fired a gun.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I've taken some of them out, and once they do, they go, "Oh, this is really cool.
This is great."
I said, "But you got to be responsible."
Yeah. You can't let your guard down ever.
No, not at all. So, you're on the street for how long were you on the street as far as in a patrol car?
So I was on patrol for give or take 5 years, and then went into what was called at that time the directed policing unit. Can we go into what all that is?
Do a brief. Yeah, sure.
Directed policing unit essentially was like a street level organized crime type deals. So at that time, it was the cigarette shop burglaries that were happening, where they're hitting the cigarette shops and getting $40,000 in cigarettes. So we worked with, and all this data's out, all this stuff's outdated now, but we would ride in plain clothes and like rental cars and like put trackers on cars and stuff, and some interest, trying to crawl through a field at night, without dogs barking, and it was some interesting stuff.
That's some fun cop stuff, though.
Oh, it was so cop stuff. It was great.
You gotta have some fun times with it.
Yep. It was great. It was taught me a side of law enforcement that I would later use in my career, working auto theft and plain clothes. But after that unit ended up getting enveloped into the special SEU, Special Enforcement Unit, which was the gang unit.
Okay.
Kind of funny side note on that is when I started my career, I was I was already a cop, but I was dating my wife at the time, and I said, "Hey, I promise to never work in the gang unit because that's where Dennis Eddy got shot.
Yeah.
You know, Matt got shot. I mean, everybody that's been shot. You know, not everybody, but
Right.
the percentage of odds getting hurt in the gang unit are much higher than any other spot on our department.
Makes sense.
Because you're in it every day.
Yeah.
Now, with the caveat of VCAT, but I mean, those guys are dealing with the worst of the worst. But anyways, sorry. I said, I will not go into the gang unit, I promise. We show up to work one day and they're like, hey, by the way, your unit is now the part of the gang unit. And so I was like, it's like, go home, get your uniform on, and come back in an hour, and we're going to tell you what you need to do. I'm like, oh, gosh, like, okay. Do I tell my wife when I get home tonight, or do I call her right now? So it's like complete, transparency.
Give me an extra 20 minutes. I need to make a phone call.
So my decision was to wait 2 days and take her to Luigi's and on my day off and tell her that I've been working the gang unit for 2 days.
Luigi's is a pretty good.
It's a
good buffer, right?
Yeah, it's
there.
a good buffer. Yeah.
Have a little Butterfinger pie delivered.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
be all right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gino take good care of you out there.
Oh, we see him pretty regular. There's more business done in that building.
Oh yeah.
Than anywhere in town.
Oh my God. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
We've sat out there and done some pretty cool stuff.
It's hard to walk in there without knowing at least 5 people too.
Oh,
It's the
Bakersfield is the smallest big town you'll ever be
Yeah,
in, as it is.
Yeah.
So with that, so then you went detective. You did some other things,
Yep.
right? But then, how did you get to where you were the 999 Foundation? And that's really what you brought us together through the wives, really.
Yep.
But at the same time, looking at that and hearing about it a little bit, and then the story behind it, I think is amazing.
Yeah. So let me tell you what it is first, how it got started. So in November 14, 2006, Deputy Joe Hudnall was assigned up to the Kernville area. He was getting ready to end his shift. All he had to do was drive back to Bakersfield and go home. Well, he decided to help one of his partners and take his prisoner down to the central receiving facility down on Truxton. As he's going through the canyon, he was hit by an out-of-town lawyer that was DUI, and he was pushed over the cliff. Resulted in Joe Hudnall's death at that time. The prisoner was okay and rescued, but Joe lost his life. Several of Joe's friends saw that, when an officer dies, or a law enforcement officer dies, there is funding out there for them that comes through the federal government and through the state, but it can take weeks. It can take months. In fact, actually, I just heard something recently where it took over almost a year for some of the funding to come through. And so what they did is said, hey, we all got motorcycles. We all want to do something. Let's put together a ride. We'll head up to Kernville. We'll drive past the area. We'll go have lunch when we'll raise some money. So they ended up raising like $15,000 on a day ride. And when they presented it to his wife, they're like, this is what we got to do now because this is going to happen again. It's going to happen again. We don't know when, but it's going to happen again. So they put together they got their 501c3 and they created the Kern County 999 Foundation. And the 999, what it means is it's a radio call for an officer that's in, he's in extreme danger. Either he's been shot, he's been hurt badly. When you hear a 999 call go over the radio, the earth stops and everybody with a badge and a gun runs.
Yeah.
They're on their way to you. I've seen it firsthand where everything from park rangers to game wardens, rolling code to the scene trying to help. It's an amazing community when you see that. So back, I would say probably around 2012, 2013, my good friend, Brian Ciandrini, one of my mentors, he was running. I don't remember if he was running at that time. He might have been the vice president, but he was quickly elected to president, and he brought me to a couple rides. I started kind of folding tables at the end of the ride, and one thing led to another. I was fully committed. Within about a year, about that same year, was brought on to the executive board member. I was brought on as an executive board member. And then, now it's been, 2015 till now, going on 10 years. I've been, I've been the vice president. I've been the second vice president. I'm now the CFO. I've been part of multiple rides, multiple training event or fundraiser events. But the idea is that we raise this money, and it comes directly to us. It does not leave Kern County. Right.
I think that's a big point.
It's huge because we got to take care of our own. I mean, we want to help everybody, but you know what? Our money here is precious because it's hard to earn. We don't make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year trying to do this.
Right.
And it's all volunteer. It's all volunteer law. We're all coppers or deputies.
Yep.
And we that money stays here in Kern County, and we pay it out to officers that are either injured or their families if they're killed in the line of duty. It's pretty incredible. I'm very, very blessed to be a part of it.
In all those years, I mean, you've helped a lot of folks. Do you have a rough idea how many families you've actually stepped in on?
Number of families, I couldn't guess. It's going to be in the dozens.
Yeah.
But I know that in the last 10 years, we've paid out over $100,000 to BPD officers alone, 80 some odd to Kern County Sheriff, and then another 80 to 100 between the other allied agencies. In immediate support, direct support. I hand you you tell me what's happening, I hand you a check.
I think that's impressive. Yeah. I think a lot of folks don't realize we've lost some officers in this county, and I think it gets in the news cycles nowadays. It's important today, and they forget about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we've lost a lot of officers over the years and deputies, and different. So I think it's to have a program that's going to really get out there and help them.
Yeah.
And how can people get in and really help? How can they help you with this?
So the first thing you do is go to kerncounty999.org. That's our website. We have an event coming up that we can talk about in a minute. You can donate directly on that page. You can contact us through that page. That's usually the easiest way. Also, we have our annual ride. It's a poker run motorcycle poker run through downtown and a bunch of partnering businesses. And that our next one's coming up. I think it's the first Saturday of October every year.
Okay.
So I think it's either October 3rd or October 4th, 2026. I wrote it down somewhere, but it's the first Saturday of October. Businesses can help us by sponsoring us. They can help us with prizes or even breaks on, so if we want to buy a nice gun, we can give us a price break on it. Because what we end up doing is we turn around and we sell them as raffle items and raffle tickets, and that's where we make our money for the year.
Sure.
And that's how we fund all this outreach that we're able to do to help these guys.
Where do you host that at?
So the poker run starts at the original Roadhouse Grill on Rosedale Highway.
Okay.
Most people have seen it. They put a big sign out the week before. It's a big event. I think we had 400 in attendance, or at least 400 meals were given out this last year. Live music, lots of raffle items. We presented the first Officer of the Year award this year, and that was really nicely accepted. And then also I did a Heritage Award. We had an old timer come out that had been, he was a copper in the 50s.
Oh wow!
Come out, and it was Chow. Officer Chow came out, and rolled him up in his wheelchair, and he got to kind of tell us a couple stories. He was actually involved in the potato field
is that right?
murders, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I remember know exactly what you're talking about. I don't remember exactly what they called it back then, but that was.
Or Onion Field.
Onion
That's
Field.
what it was, yeah. LAPD officers that were kidnapped.
Yeah, it was, I think they made a movie out of that.
They did.
Or something like that.
And then the book that the preeminent author wrote, one of the pictures actually has him
in
that a photo. Right? And it's funny, too. He kind of joked about it. He says, yes, it lists all the detectives and officers by first and last name and rank, and then it says, and the Asian officer. And he's like, it couldn't have been that hard. I was the only one during that time. Like, they could have. I mean, he said he could have just guessed Chow. I mean, that couldn't have been that hard at that time. So, fantastic guy. Got to talk with him on the phone multiple times and hear his stories. And really good dude.
The stories he's got to have from what it was like back when he started to when he retired. That was
pre-Dodge diplomats.
Good.
Can you imagine? Like, oh my gosh, like. I drove a Chevy Caprice when I was using the, had to check out cars every day. I drove a Chevy Caprice, and I felt pretty happy about that. I was the last one in the department.
Oh, yeah.
And the guys laughed like, Chevy never made a patrol car. I'm like, dude, you ain't been here long enough. Like,
right.
Yes, they did. So
we haven't always had little SUVs. Come on, right?
yeah.
That's.
But yeah, it was pretty neat.
I was actually talking to an officer the other day, and he just got moved to a different division
Okay.
and got a promotion out of it, but he lost his pickup.
Oh, that's
And now he's in an SUV, and he was not pleased about that.
yeah. I loved my pick. I had a F-150 that I was assigned, and
That's what he had.
it was so cool.
Oh, he would, like I said, he's a friend of mine, and he pulled up, and I think it was a pretty cool truck.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't imagine the artillery that was in the bed of that thing. It just sometimes it was really neat. It's
I bet.
and wearing cowboy boots and jeans and shirts to work every day and popping out on people out of that thing was pretty neat. That was a pretty good deal.
I hated you guys. I hate you guys on the highway, though.
Oh yeah.
Them dang CHP cars now, I can't see them when I'm driving to Reading.
Hey, I have to look for them too. So I get it. I get it. So.
Oh, that's I always tell my brother-in-law. He's a fireman, and he lives in Paso. He's a fireman in Fresno. 41's a pretty easy place to get a ticket.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But a lot of firemen have that get out of jail free card in their pocket,
Well,
and it works out pretty well for them because
Yeah.
and you guys. But
I think we understand that they're probably en route to an emergency call or something
Absolutely.
that they probably need to get there a little faster.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. That's I'm just yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just very cautious with
Yeah.
mine. I drive way too much to be speeding around.
Yeah.
I haven't had a ticket in many. Last one that got me was actually the damn camera.
Oh yeah.
Wait
Wait till the speed cameras come in. I'm not looking forward to that.
I figure that's coming.
Yeah.
we gonna get them here? You think?
I don't know if we're getting in Kern County, but they are deployed. The best of my knowledge, are deployed in the San Francisco area and then also down towards the Long Beach area.
I can
And
see
it's
that.
been pushed where they can make them statewide now. That just came into law this year, I think.
Oh,
so,
gosh.
and my info might not be completely correct,
Yeah.
but it's pretty close.
It would not shock me. It would.
Well,
I get it.
If it's looking for 100-mile-an-hour guys,
Right.
all day long, do it,
Absolutely.
please, because there's plenty of them. A guy can stay busy all day long getting those guys.
Oh yeah.
But if it's like the 82-mile-an-hour guys,
Yep.
then we can. It's,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, it's 82, 83. Not to say that I'm condoning breaking the law in any way. I'm not saying that I do it personally. I'm just saying that flow of traffic is 80 miles an hour most places in this state.
Yeah, if you're not
So-
doing 80 on the 5, you're going to
You're
get your
gonna
butt
get
run
run
over.
over.
That's I try and put my cruise
Amtrak
at 70.
buses at
Oh, God,
78
yes.
miles an hour came up on me one day, and I was like, "This is crazy."
Yes.
But anyways,
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you guys have helped a lot of folks, and you're going to have this event. They start at Roadhouse.
so the October event is original Roadhouse Grill.
Yep.
And then we're going to try to do a parade route again this year. We've done a parade route for 20 years now, but we don't, with the way that the new city charters have changed, we're not sure that we're going to be able to get the assistance from the local departments. So traditionally, Bakersfield Police Department would usually bring 5 or 6 bikes out.
Yeah.
CHP would bring 5 or 6 bikes out, and that was enough to keep us safe. They shut down the roads as necessary. This year, due to budgetary constraints, BPD was not able to be a part of the ride for the first time in 20 years.
Okay.
So we did it the best we could, and we just simply had to say, hey, if you feel unsafe, stop at the red light. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. Right. But we are going to have to take a long, hard look at if we're going to be able to continue that this year, or it's just like, hey, everybody safely drive out. We'll meet you over there because we go to the police memorial in front of the courthouse.
Oh, okay.
And
All
we
right.
have a little ceremony. We usually have some people talk, usually some families or officers that have been assisted by us, get to hear their stories. They're some amazing stories that we've heard over the years.
I bet.
And then we hit between 4 and 5 additional old Ethels. Everybody loves Ethels.
Gotta go to
Gotta go to
Ethel's.
Ethels, and that makes
Yep.
a fun ride. We did Legends this year. They're partnering again with us for our clay shoot. In fact, Legends is it's old 1933.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
So-
didn't realize that had changed.
Yep. So it became Legends, I want to say early last year.
Okay.
And the guys out there, George, owner, he's fantastic, very supportive of us, excited about helping us. So we're partnering with him. He's for our clay shoot, he's actually donating all the lunch right now.
Oh,
So
good.
which that could be for up to 200 people, So that's a lot. That's a big ticket item right there. And
I have
he's
a
coming
catering
out.
business on the side.
Yeah.
Feeding 200 people will cost a few bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
I can
So
tell you,
so
yes.
blessed to have him in our ring, on our side. So, but yeah, so for the annual ride, we all end up at the original Roadhouse Grill for live music.
Oh, very cool.
And like I said before, all the auction items and stuff.
That's where you do that stuff is at the grill.
Yeah, at the grill.
Okay.
Yeah. And the original Roadhouse Grill, the two brothers that own it, and man, their name's evading me right now, but they've been donating our meals for 20 years, or for 18 years now.
Wow.
We fed 400 this year.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's huge. So we can't be more appreciative of them. Please do us a favor. Go to Original Roadhouse Grill and tell them the 999 sent you. We appreciate it. They even have a wall there for recognizing our officers that have been killed in line of duty. So it does kind of feel like home there. They've done
Yeah,
really
I think
well.
we'll have to really highlight that a little bit more, I think, with them. If they're doing that and supporting all of our law enforcement,
Yeah.
which that is. I mean, that's
Huge.
That the folks need to know that to support that type of business.
Yeah, absolutely.
More and more. So that's, but you have an event coming up here pretty soon.
We do. We have a clay shoot coming up, which is going to be, got to check my notes. It's going to be May 30th at the what's it called? Down right by Buena Vista Lake.
At the gun club out
At the
there.
Bakersfield, Kern County Gun Club.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, if I got that wrong, I so apologize. But Kern County Gun Club, right by Lake Buena Vista, on May 30th. Registration opens at 7. We will start shooting at 8:30. Pre-registration's live right now at Kern County 999foundation.org. You can just Google Kern 999 and it comes up with our Facebook page and everything. Our Facebook page also has a link too. But yeah, that's hot and live right now. We're looking forward to a good event.
You get a lot of teams out there.
We're hoping to. This is our first one. We're hoping it's successful. We're still looking for sponsors. We're still looking for teams. Still looking for a lot of help to do it.
Yeah.
But hopefully some of your listeners can maybe push us in the right direction.
No, absolutely. I think of like Dustin over at Dirty Bird did a lot with a couple of them that we've been out there at, and then Bear Mountain Sports. I know she was real involved in the last one we were at.
Good.
So I can't remember what was that shooting event we were doing. I think it was the Leukemia Foundation. We were cooking for
Great
it
cause.
actually.
Great cause, great foundation. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I actually met her one day. We were cooking for a wedding, and she came up, and we make pretty good food. I mean,
I bet.
We've been pretty fortunate. And she came up to me, and she said, "Hey, do you guys do other events?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." And she said, "Well, this is what we got going on." And then she told me her story.
Yeah.
There's no way in the world I was not going to go cook for this lady.
Yeah.
She's awesome. And then she told me her story, and everybody, this is crying. It's like, okay, what do you need? Here.
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah.
It was.
And that's what we do. That's what our community does.
Yes.
There's a reason we have the largest walk for life in the country.
Yes.
It's amazing. If you've ever been involved in that, that's another wonderful charity to be involved in. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
we've done that one in years back. I think folks don't realize Bakersfield, the origins of Bakersfield and the Okie tradition. I mean, we'll call it. It's my family all came out in the 40s, during the Dust Bowl.
Yep.
A lot of them, and most folks out here did, and they stopped at the work camps in Lamont.
Yeah.
And that's how this all got started. And
Yeah.
I mean, I remember talking to my aunt. She was one of the Okies, and they weren't allowed to come into Bakersfield.
Yeah.
They were not welcome.
Oh wow.
Yeah, back then it was crazy times.
Yeah.
But that heritage is still there.
Yeah.
So that's why that's why we donate
Absolutely.
probably more than anything else.
Well, I got those same roots, so I'm fourth generation off the reservation. So
Are you?
Yeah, Cherokee Res. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Exactly. That's how we started.
Yep.
That's how we all started here. So I think that's definitely a great place to get people more involved with it then, and hopefully we can help promote that a little more. And I think we'll have to talk about it even on some other podcast, and we'll get the link up on our site
Excellent.
and
Thank
make
you.
sure that's there. So
Yeah, we're definitely looking for some premium sponsorships right now.
I bet.
Yeah, I mean, they can get a team, the whole 9 yards, but I mean, we need those people to kind of get the idea is always to be in the black the day you start.
sure.
So everything you earn from that day on, from that moment on, is the money. So we're not quite there yet. We're a little further back than we really wanted to be, but I think that they always come through for us. Our public always comes through. Our supporters always come through. So
No, I think that's a great one then. So with that, I imagine you have a lot of officers kind of come in and out of the in an organization helping out, and then they retire. So it's you get a lot of people involved. Do you have other agencies that are come in?
Yeah, absolutely. So our board is made up of 2 CHP officers, a Shafter PD detective now. Kern County Sheriff's Department is represented, and then Bakersfield Police Department.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's we're from all over the best we can, and we're always looking for additional active duty or retired officers or detectives to be involved, the people that want to commit their time for it. We're always looking to build our board bigger. If we have people that are energized and to help, our fellow coppers, then we'd love to have them and love to hear from them. They can reach out through the website, or you can email me at kern999trammel at gmail. And I'd love to sit and talk with you and have lunch. So that would be great.
No, I think that's very cool. I think the more we can get in there. With that, you mentioned there are some changes happening in your charter, in the city charter, but there's some changes coming with your BPD as well.
Yes, sir. The chief's leaving.
Yeah.
Chief Terry's he's done. It's funny. He was my sergeant in the gang unit at one point.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So
the non gang unit.
Well, actually, it's when we became. I told my It's probably what I just should have called it. For my wife, but he was one of my sergeants, and I got kind of a funny story if you'd like it.
Absolutely.
So we are over off of like the Bell Terrace area. There's a well-known complex there it just kind of weaves in and is out with these concrete walkways and second story deals. And we're there and I don't remember what the call for service was, but most of the unit was there, and it's probably 2:30 in the morning. And all of a sudden we're talking, huddling below this balcony, and this guy walks out on the balcony. He's got like this, I don't know if it's crushed velvet, but like this robe on, a sleep robe. And he writes out there, says, "I'm Rick James," loud as he could be, loud enough for like every neighbor you can imagine. And he didn't expect us to see down there. And the chief, we all shine our lights up at him. And the chief, or who was the sergeant at that time, looks and says, "Well, Mr. James, if you'd kindly be quiet and head back into your residence, we'd be greatly appreciated." So for the next week or so, every time he'd walk in, we'd play the little meme. Oh, "I'm Rick James," and he didn't get it. He's like, "Where'd you guys?" And then finally I had to show him it's from David Chappelle.
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah. You guys know what I'm talking? Yeah.
Yep.
So it was a pretty neat little deal. So, but he's just a consummate professional. Even when when things were getting hard, he was always the calm head. So.
I've always heard good. I've never met him, but I've always heard great things about him.
Yeah.
So
we're excited that he's heading on to his retirement. He's well deserved.
But now you got to get somebody new again.
And I got my favorite for sure, but we'll see. We'll see how it happens. The new charter is allowing us to look outside the department, which is this is new for us. Okay. So this change, I don't know when, but a couple years ago, I believe. So officers, qualified applicants from other departments can now come in and interview for the job.
They didn't allow that before, huh?
I believe this is the first time that they've allowed it. I might be wrong, but I believe this is the first time. And I have some opinions on that. It's really hard to serve your community wholly if you've never been a part of our community.
Absolutely.
You don't know the ins and outs on Bakersfield and the people that we have and the hearts that they are, to really to serve them properly, in my opinion. Now, if we end up getting a chief from some other department, please erase all this. But I think it's the one person I really think should be that. Well, they're both of our assistant chiefs are amazing, or all three of them actually. But the two that would probably the most likely candidates would be Blakemore and Stratton. And I was partners with Blakemore, so I know him inside and out too. Sure. And I trust that guy with my life. I mean, he's fantastic, very analytical, really looks at the whole picture. And I'd be completely happy if he became our chief. But Stratton, he's just kind of I think that he would get the popularity vote. I think that's the easiest way to say it, because he's been there as someone's person to someone we could lean on for probably most of us through our careers. Someone we can talk to, someone we can bring things up to. So, yeah, and he's uber qualified. And I
think it is important for them to have an understanding of Bakersfield, because a lot of folks I mean, I deal with people up and down the state on a regular basis, and they don't have all they think about is Bakersfield is they're hauling ass through at 99 on the 99, and gosh, that's that ugly town.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know the people.
Or what's funnier is they're like, oh, I drive by it on the 5 all the time. I'm like, then you didn't even see anything.
You didn't see it.
You saw a racetrack. There's nothing out there. There's what, 3 gas stations and a Taco Bell or something.
That's it. Yeah. No, there's so much here, and I know we get a bad rap and all that, but I'm glad that they could look outside a little bit too, because there might be a fresh set of eyes.
Yeah, and that might help.
But they definitely have to come in and embrace the community and understand what they're getting into, because it's a very different community.
Yeah,
I really do. I've always felt that way.
Yeah.
We left for 10 years and came back, and it always kind of pulled us back.
Yeah.
We could see that. I mean, you probably see that. You run into deputies a lot. You run into CHP a lot. But there is a little different feel.
Yeah.
When you talk with them.
Imagine this. You defend yourself or a loved one, and instead of being seen as the good guy, you're arrested, charged, and forced to fight for your freedom. You know you did nothing wrong, but now you're looking at thousands in legal fees. We've seen it happen. Good people losing everything just to prove they acted lawfully. That's why you need firearms legal protection. For as little as 33 cents a day, FLP gives you unlimited legal defense for criminal and civil cases. No caps, no hidden fees, no payback, just real protection with experienced self-defense attorneys who have your back. Plus, you'll get 24/7 attorney access, red flag protection, and more. Go to firearmslegal.com, pick your plan, and use promo code ECA for exclusive pricing, no setup fee, and a lifetime rate lock. Because when the worst day of your life happens, you shouldn't face it alone.
Yeah, when they talk about the support base from their departments, it's completely different than what ours is. And well, and I won't go into that part of it, but I can tell you that I'm regularly asked, hey, what would your department do with this? I'm like, well, if you screwed up, if it's there's a brain mistake, sure, and then there's a mistake of the heart, and if you did something on purpose, then hey, you deserve to you're out. I don't want nothing to do with you. If you made a decision conscientiously to do something bad, dude, you're gone. I don't want to deal with you. But hey, I screw up all the time. And I've been with officers that screw up, make mistakes. And it's an error. Those kind of people, hey, let's train them up. Let's correct them. Let's fix them. We're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater because, he screwed something up. And so that's why I feel like happens with our department a lot. Not everybody, not all my coppers that are listening to this might agree with that, but that's been my experience.
You're never going to have everybody agree.
No.
And that's fine. That's fine. Everyone's going to have their opinions.
Yeah.
Any time I've had dealings with the BPD, and it's almost always positive. I've had a couple that probably weren't great on my own accord.
Yep.
But it was there's a story when I was in junior high.
Okay, let's hear this.
I was a hoodlum.
Has this been documented already? Just so I know.
Well, I'll tell
Statute
you.
of limitations is probably expired, so we're probably okay.
Well, IA got involved. Internal Affairs got involved.
Okay.
It was me and my buddy and his older brother and his best friend, Spanky. It kind of tells you
everybody's
about.
got to have a friend who's Spanky.
Yeah, and we were out walking. It was probably 11 o'clock at night. We shouldn't have been, but we're out and we were wandering behind one of the local schools through the park of the school, just not even doing anything wrong, just walking. And it turns out, as we get across right behind the school, it was understanding. I'm 58, so this was for over 40 years ago.
Gotcha.
That was 45 years ago. Brand new Camaro comes hauling ass down the road and spins sideways. Beautiful white Camaro until you see the other side that's banged up. And it was literally brand new. I think it still had plates. And it's probably a couple hundred yards from us. And we're kind of look and what's that? And then see somebody get out. He's got something in his hand. One's a flashlight. Can't see what's in his other hand. And he's running towards us.
Oh.
And now we're not very bright folks anyways. We're kind of looking. Finally, he gets a little closer to us and he yells at us to get down. BPD, get down.
Okay.
And he evidently, at that point, somebody had thrown some tires out in front of his car and over on Chester Avenue. And there were six young men
Oh.
So he was off duty, but they had damaged his brand new Camaro.
Oh, I'd be pissed.
He was hot.
Yeah.
So he came running up, got us all on the ground, and is yelling at us. And we're like, we had nothing to do with this at all.
Yeah.
And then after about 10 minutes later, these two guys come walking up out of the dark. And we're like, what the hell are they doing? And they kind of jogging up. Well, that spooked him because then he's freaked out. And he yells at them and they split. He fires his weapon off in the air.
Oh, wow.
So here we are at 11:30 at night. He yells at them to get down. They run, fires his weapon off.
Yeah.
And I was in high school. I take it back. I was a freshman in high school because we didn't think much about it. Well before cell phones.
Yeah.
Turns out those two idiots that came run up are the ones that did it.
Oh.
Well, now there's 6 of us. He goes, okay, I got y'all. We're like, no.
Yeah.
Those guys say, okay, we did it. So he tells us, he doesn't have a radio.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's off duty. He doesn't have a cell phone because they weren't invented yet.
Yeah.
So he tells me and my buddy, we go over there to Woody's and call this number or call the number and say, officer needs assistance.
Yeah.
So we did. Officer needs assistance.
Yeah, a lot of trust.
Holy smoke.
Yeah.
By the time we got back,
Yeah.
there was BPD, sheriff, CHP.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody and their mother was there.
Yeah, that's gonna ring a lot of bells.
But that's exactly, we told it exactly what he said to say.
Mhm.
So we did. He didn't need assistance.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 weeks later, Internal Affairs shows up at the school, knocking on the door, and they said, "Can you get Chuck Sears out of whatever class I was in?" And I was looking,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he got some hot water, but
Yeah.
that was just don't do stupid shit.
Yeah. Definitely an abnormal way to handle that situation, for sure.
I think he just let his emotions get away
Yeah.
from him.
Yeah. And it's funny too because there's something we talk about all the time is like there used to be this terrible speaker that used to, it was like called verbal judo, and it's somewhat right, but the guy that represented the company was he kind of looked like a WWF wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Right. And he'd tell you that when you put on your uniform you got to have some action words, which is great, it's positive talk to yourself to get that mindset. And they used to show it in the academy, which they don't anymore.
Yeah.
But he would say that I'd put my vest on and put my belt on, and then I'd finally put my badge on in the camera. I'd go, or in the mirror, I'd say, "Showtime." And it was his big thing. So of course that became the heckling joke for the rest of the academy. Hey, is it showtime yet?
Oh gosh.
So it was pretty interesting. But what's funny though is that I've been involved in bad stuff on duty. Numerous more things than I care to remember. Things I definitely want to forget.
Yeah.
And handled it. In my opinion, pretty professional. As professional as could have been handled at that moment at least by me. Mm-hmm. And then been in situations that were a whole lot less dangerous, a whole lot less scary, off duty, and I realized, shit, my legs are shaking.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second, like I'm having a hard time talking. Like it's just funny. It's like you're in this. I don't want to say warrior mindset because that's not going to be very politically correct, but you have a mindset when you're in uniform, when you're prepared for it,
Sure.
that it just kind of changes your whole response. Like if I would have sit down at this interview and you only give me 2 seconds to, hey, just walk in the room, let's talk, I'd probably be scared.
Yeah.
But because I got 4 or 5 days to think about it, I was able to get my mind wrapped around it, and hopefully I'm not looking too bad.
No, actually great.
But yeah, so let's see. It's a situation like that's definitely be pretty bad, and I'm sure it didn't turn out very good for him, for sure.
I'm sure it didn't. That was the last time they talked to us about it, and that was fine.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to go away at that point.
Yeah.
And never did tell my parents about it. They didn't need to know. So
Yep,
it was,
there you go.
like I
That's
said,
cool.
That was a long, long time ago.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
But I think it does show in some ways you guys have all these stressful situations that pop up, and you're going to be human.
Yeah.
You have to, folks have to understand that going in a little.
Yeah.
I
And are you talking about like how we deal with it on a daily basis, or like the trauma that
All of
involved?
that,
Okay.
really, because your daily basis stuff, you're seeing it every single day.
Yeah. That trauma builds up.
I can't imagine with coming out of global war and terror, and everyone's really familiar with PTSD and what's happened. I think that gets really overlooked.
It does.
What happens in your
I think it
profession.
does. So, and I can speak on this a little bit. I've been a part of the Bakersfield Police Department peer support team for a number of years. When there was the studies and research that have come up in the last even just 3 or 4 years have dramatically changed the outlook of what this PTSD is, right? So for myself, I was listening to a doctor at a big training that we're at, and I really like what she'd said. Is she said she doesn't call it PTSD,
Right.
she calls it PTSI, injury. Injuries can be healed,
Yes.
right? So I can tell you, and I openly talk about this with my guys, is I dealt with PTSI myself. Went through a number of years of counseling. Like I said, I got involved in my church, reached out, became very open with my wife about what I've gone through, which supported me in a huge manner. And was luckily, one of the things was when I was left the gang unit, I was put into school resource officer. All right, which is talk about a whiplash change of the way things you deal with, right? But you know what? I would show up to a kindergarten class to read a book or go out to the playground to play basketball, and man, I was just filled with everybody around you just felt joy and love, and it was awesome. But yeah, it's definitely overlooked. Our department, so Sergeant Varian Coleman, he might be a guy you might want to bring on here if you haven't yet.
I haven't yet, but yeah.
He is an absolute steamroller when it comes to making things happen for our team and for our department. He's created, and there's many people, but he's the head of it. There's lots of people working hard. Our administration all down is approving things and making sure there's fundings for things. So please don't let me take credit from them. But 3 separate kind of like rest areas for us to be at. There were 3 separate locations. We can go in behind locked doors. We can write our reports instead of having to, imagine working the scariest place in town.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And then now you have to put all of your attention into a document that's going to be held over your head for the next 40 years that everybody in the world's going to read. But you have to do this while listening to your radio, while maintaining your phone. Me, I used to listen to Kern County Sheriff's Department radio, CHP radio, West Side Traffic, and East Side Traffic all at the same time by 3 different devices in my car, and type. And then, by the way, you are on one of the worst locations in town, and it's 2:00 in the morning. So he's able to create these locations where we can go in, type in peace, sit at a counter that's quiet. He brings in some of those local partners have donated carrots and drinks and sodas and all this kind of stuff. That just gives that officer, and it's not a place for them to go take a nap and be lazy, but it gives them a chance to, hey, I need to focus on this document that's going to change my life and everybody else's life involved in that document. I can put all my effort into it without having to worry about getting shot at or attacked. Because we've had it happen.
Oh, no, absolutely. I think about that often. I live in the county, and we'll see 2 or 3 sheriff's deputies parked together. And that's I always think about that. Is that, if I see them parked by themselves, it makes me nervous. Yeah. And I'd rather see 2 or 3 together because one could be writing their report.
Yep.
And okay, they might be with their bullshitting. Okay.
Yep.
That's that's their business. Everybody needs a little downtime before they go home. Yeah. I don't care what business you're in, and you guys need that.
Yeah.
So and you're not going to get it.
No, and that's the truth. There's all sorts of departments around the United States that do some things with a lot of people to work out at the end of shift, which we do have a gym and things like that. We can go on our own time and do that.
Sure.
But really, what Varian's been focusing on is training people up to recognize the symptomology of PTSI and depression and all these things, and has created there's an app that we can go to where you can test yourself, which anonymous, has partnered with Shielding the Frontline. If you ever talk to Trevor over at Shielding the Frontline, it's a not-for-profit organization that uses that allows officers to what's it mean where you're unidentified, not covertly, you're quiet. Gosh. Anyways, where you don't have to tell them who you are and what you do. And you can talk to counselors. It's like 6 or 8 sessions that are completely confidential.
Oh, nice.
And the only way that the city gets billed for it at the end is like a 6-digit number, and your name's not attached to it.
Okay.
And so that's what I did. That's the path that I took. Is I went ahead and I made a phone call one day, and the guy's name was Chuck. He was a NYPD relation somehow, prior cop. They're all of the people that we're able to call, all the mental health professionals we're able to call, are law enforcement to have some type of, they've been vetted specifically for that.
I think the CDCR, or whatever they're called now, I think they're working with that group too.
Good. It's fantastic. It needs to be on everybody's tongue. Every copper around, they should get an hour presentation, in the academy, and then again when they get out, because we're all tough, but it's at some point you gotta. So this is what I always tell the guys when I give a presentation, and I said, and excuse my language, but it's called shit bucket. Everybody's got a shit bucket.
Yeah.
Okay, my shit bucket's yellow. It's got some rust around the edge. It's got a couple holes in the side of it, and I'm able to keep it contained, right? And I keep putting my shit in it until it starts to overflow. When it overflows, it makes a mess, and that mess usually comes out either on me being irritable with my family, not wanting to do my work, not being effective at work. Not taking care of myself, being not necessarily self-destructive, but I'll eat 2 donuts today instead of eating my oatmeal.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And if you don't take opportunities to empty that bucket, it will continue to pile up to where you can no longer keep everything inside or keep up with the cleaning up the messes. And so I'm a real advocate for taking care of yourself, either physically, obviously, so we can be, do our job well. But mentally, because, man, we got to be able to do this job. These new guys are having to do the job to 55, 57 years old.
Are they really?
Yeah,
Wow.
2.7. I don't know the number.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
they're no
right.
longer. I was blessed with Classic.
Yes.
3% at 50.
Yeah.
So my 50th birthday, I will have the opportunity to leave if I deem that that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So 57 years old, there's a likelihood that they're going to be out pushing around a black and white. So if they're not taking care of their physical and mental health, they're going to be I can't imagine where they're going to be.
No, I'm 58. I can't imagine being out on the street.
Yeah.
In all reality. I
Imagine
would
doing
just
a car stop at 3 a.m. in the rain.
God, no.
And you got a 19-year-old gangster in there. Okay. I got to tell you, that makes my butt pucker right now just thinking about it, let alone being another 15 years down the road.
Oh, yeah. No, it's you find it's just not the same. We all like to think we are.
Yeah.
But I can tell you at 58, I am definitely not.
Yeah. If I was half as bulletproof today as I was when I was in my 20s, I was unstoppable. I thought there was no end to what I could do.
Yeah.
And
I hate to see the 50-year-olds all go away because that knowledge and that experience.
Ouch.
So I'm hoping that they hang around and stay. You don't have to be on the street. Use that experience somewhere else.
Well, in a perfect world, they will grade up and they'll be detectives by that point, or sergeants, or captains and lieutenants.
Right.
So that's the hope. I mean, that's a lot of experience that should put them in a pretty good pathway to leadership. So
we do talk a lot, and I often worry about the mental health on that, and so that is a big thing to bring up. We just lost a corrections officer recently.
Okay.
Here in Kern County, it was probably I think it might have been New Year's Eve actually, when one took his own life.
Just like 4 days ago?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard about that. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
That's
it
terrible news.
was. It was out of one of the Delano prisons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
My partner in the barbecue business he's a CDC, so I hear a lot on that side of things. So when that happened, it came up, and that they've lost a few, and I'll tell you, I don't think folks realize what you guys see on the street, what those guys see in I toured a prison once.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah. Definitely don't want to be there.
No, that was the
That's
worst
for
thing
sure.
I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine the mental strain that you get that it does. So I'm glad that there is some help in that one. And we are seeing a lot. It's not PTSD anymore. Now I see a lot of guys that are saying you're just PTS or PTSI.
Yep.
I like that. I think because it can be healed.
Yeah.
It can be healed.
Yeah, the symptoms that I was suffering from at that time are a thing in the past. They're like a broken toe. I remember it. I think of the times fondly, and I was never suicidal or anything like that. But I just didn't care a whole lot about a whole lot of things that I was normally really involved in. I love driving fast. I got big horsepower toys. I loved playing with them. Man, I want to tinker on them. I want to work on them. It was my pride and joy to do that. Pre-kids, of course. And then I was just no longer doing it anymore. I was just wanted to drink beer and hang out with my buddies. That's all I wanted to do.
That brings up a question, actually, and I hope you don't mind answering this.
Yeah.
Outside of work,
okay.
Are you surrounded by your cop buddies, or do you find that it's better for your mental health, or to make friends outside of?
So 10 years ago, I would say that of my group of 20 closest people I talk to on a daily basis away from work, I'd say half of them were cops.
Yeah.
I've now transitioned to where I'm still very good friends with. There's still 40 people I could call in the middle of the night, say I'm broke down the side of the road, come get me.
Those are your brothers in arms. That's
Yeah,
your family.
I
in a
love
way.
them. They call me, hey, something's going on. I need your help. I drop everything. There's
Right.
no doubt about it. There's probably 40 or 50 people that I would do that for in an instant, and they would, and they.
Absolutely.
But I can tell you that I have conscientiously made a decision to distance myself away from my work life the best that I can during my off time. So, I love talking cop talk. I
Yes.
love talking about great stories and the time remember that time we almost died? Which one?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That's we love talking about those, but at some point you're just kind of reliving the past and you're kind of living in it. And so it's been my belief that I spend my time with my kids, at my church, with my friends that I had before law enforcement, and it's just better for me. So
I'm hearing that more and more. That's
Yeah.
why. And I think that's a realization that,
Yeah.
and maybe it's the 18 years,
yeah,
but at the same time, even some of the younger generation, I've heard some of those guys,
Mm-hmm.
and they said, I made that effort
yeah,
to friends outside of the
Yeah.
force. And some of them get ridiculed for it.
yeah. It's not exactly the most popular thing because it's like, well, you didn't go out drinking with us last night, or you didn't show up to this event. And it's like, yeah, guys, I show up to a lot of events.
Yeah.
I just don't need to be at all of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, you can imagine we're cops. We like to do fun things, and there's always and we're type A personalities. So everyone wants to plan something to come up. So it does happen where there's lots of invites. It's just I'm very selective, and it's nothing negative towards the people who invite me. I love them. I appreciate it, and I invite them to my stuff.
Sure.
But it's just being selective about my time. My time is the most valuable thing that I have.
I've heard it's much better for their mental health
I
moving
think
forward.
for me, it has been that way.
Yeah,
So-
you're not the first one to
Yeah.
think that. That's why that came up. I actually listened to a Navy guy talking about the exact same thing. He made a point to separate himself
Yeah.
from his unit
Yeah.
for that reason, and he felt it just. And once he got out, he really separated himself,
Yeah.
and not because he still talks to him, but he
Yeah.
doesn't hang out.
I still check on them. We still Twitter my face space together and send videos and stuff. It's just I've dropped out of the link where it's the everyday text of that kind of stuff. So
No, I think that makes you more balanced.
yeah, and it's hard to do, but it's important.
I've seen, I guess, but I think that changed in the past 10 years, probably 10, 15. I mean, there's just a difference in officers now than there was 10, 15 years ago. Even, like I said, even some of the younger ones, you could just tell that, and I think it's probably because you guys have shown them that mentorship. So
A lasting house is built on a firm foundation.
Yeah.
And for me, it's Christ, it's family, and it's long-term friends that have become family. And with those three things, I feel like I almost feel like I'm invincible again, like I'm in my 20s again.
yeah,
There's very little that gets me down. There's very few things that really stress me. And it's one of those things where I'm just a happier man because of it. Like I said, I like going to the fun stuff. We still go to Battle of the Badgers every year, and we do all those cool things. We hang out with our buddies, and I love them. But this is where I'm at in my life now.
yeah. And it doesn't have to be every time, like you said.
Yeah.
Just go out and have fun. Well, I think that's cool. So we got 999 coming up. Make sure folks get on there. We need to get you guys some sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking for all sorts of different sponsors, all levels. I mean, if you want to write us a check for darn near anything, we'll take it.
We'll take
'Cause I mean, maybe it pays for some sodas, but we're looking for, like platinum sponsors, which would involve entry for your entire team. So entry for 2 teams to shoot, right? Breakfast. Breakfast is coming from, you ever eat Taco Bros? Taco
I don't
Bros
think
downtown?
I have.
Okay, great little joint. Sorry, I'm going to go on this.
That's
Taco
fine.
Bros, they started right there at 23rd and L, or the parking lot. It used to be a Wells Fargo parking lot. It was a little tiny coffee stand.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they
I know
opened
exactly
up.
what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
So those fantastic people.
Okay.
We'd roll up there in our cars,
Yeah.
and there'd be 5 people in front of us, and we'd be like, okay, you can't spend more than a couple minutes in the
No.
drive-thru, especially down there. You're either going to get you're either going to get some extra business you don't want,
Right.
or someone's going to come and heckle you or whatever. But
Yeah.
anyways, they would see us and they'd, I see you, and they'd run out to us and take our order, and then pretty quick our order would come out and we'd just kind of climb out of the line. Pay for it and
Nice.
climb out of the line.
Yep.
So they were really good. So that same group has started another spot called Pasta Bros. which is at Callaway, like the neighborhood market, Walmart neighborhood market deal.
Yeah.
It used to be something Fit Pantry or something used to be there.
Yeah.
Anyways, their food is ridiculous. It
Really?
is so. My daughters love it,
Oh,
and they
good
do
on.
these really cool desserts and stuff. But anyways, so they're going to sponsor us for breakfast burritos. Or they've donated 200 full-size breakfast burritos for
Nice.
our event, and it was nothing for me to ask. I said, "Hey, would you guys want to do something like maybe cut us a break or a deal?" And she's like, "No, we won't do that. We'll just give you the 200 burritos."
There you
Like
go.
she was just like, "No problem."
Yeah.
It was so nice when she found out what it is we did.
Yeah.
So you show up, you get a breakfast burrito, probably some waters and soda, no alcohol till the end, guys. Of course, you can understand why.
Yeah, you would think that'd be
Yeah, pretty
a
normal.
given.
Pretty normal, yeah. But then we go shoot, and then so the platinum sponsorship is 2 teams, so that's an entry of 10 shooters, breakfast burrito, lunch, and I'm excited to know what that is yet. It's going to be something probably pretty awesome from Legends. We're going to do these. I think we're still trying to do these pouches. So you put your ammo pouch. We're getting this embroidered, and then station sign, and then a banner. Bunch of raffle tickets. There's the list of stuff's on the website, but you know, I mean, you're already, if you're gonna have 2 teams together, pay a little extra and get a bunch of advertisement out of us. You know, we'll put you on the internet. But that's really what we're looking for. And guys and gals and everybody listening, you know, this money isn't going to go to pay for me to get a new, you know, foundation truck or go on a trip for the foundation. We're 100% voluntary. About the only thing I get out of it is every couple months we get a little bit of a dinner out of it. As our meeting, we'll buy some food so we're not sitting there staring at each other. And I get a couple free beers at the ride. Yeah. Other than that, we're completely volunteer. It goes to our cost of running the foundation, which is like permits and licensing and stuff like that. And then the rest goes directly to our officer. And like I said, we're talking a couple $100,000 or more, you know, probably $750,000. Not $750,000. I'm sorry. I don't math well.
Right.
$250,000. So
Gotcha.
$250,000. We're probably pretty close to that mark of what we've given out since we created this. So, and we've paid for groceries for officers. Like I said, when an officer's hurt on duty, that's where the real, like, that's what makes it the hardest for them, because we're all cops. We all want to work overtime, either because we love the job or because, hey, it's a way for us to sort of support our families in a better way. When that overtime stops, it's dramatic. And then when we're off duty, it lessens even more. When we're put on IOD, it lessens even more. So things start getting really tight really quick. Yeah. So I've showed up and handed somebody a check and said, "Here you go. You know, what, you know, just out of curiosity, they tell me, you know, what are you putting this on?" I said, "I wasn't able to pay the rest of my groceries this month."
Yeah.
We had one of the deputies that was injured during a big manhunt that you were talking about earlier. He had just done a bunch of work to his house, and it was like partway done. And so he's like, "I can't be out there and work on this.
Right.
So now, but I can't not have this thing here. We're having to use a ladder to get to my door type thing."
Oh.
And yeah, and so I was like, "Well, here, let's help cover part of that expense."
Nice.
The simplest thing, here's this: summer, Bakersfield's crazy hot.
Yep.
Right. Well, if you work, you know, if you and your wife and your kids are at school and at work or whatever during the day, then your air conditioner bill is not too extreme.
Right.
Well, now dad's at home all day long. You want him sitting in a 110-degree house, you know? So the air conditioner bills go up. So, hey, here you go. These might sound like not amazing things that we pay for, but think about what it does for the quality of life for that officer. One of the most recent things we did is a particular officer had to go down to Southern California for his surgery. Of course, in all the amazingness of scheduling, they scheduled his surgery for 4 a.m.
Yes.
He had to be there at 4 a.m. Well, it was winter. Grapevine's closing every other day at the time. And we're like, "Well, what are you going to do?" She's like, "Well, we're going to go down at 10 o'clock the night before, and we're going to sleep in the parking lot, and we're going to then go in for surgery." And I said, "No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Here, we got you an inexpensive hotel, nice, you know, one safe for them.
Right.
You know, not a Motel 6, but something okay, nothing ridiculous. And he said, and here's some gas money, and here's a dinner card.
Yeah.
Let's pay for this stuff. Let's make sure you're taken care of, so you're not, Mama's stressed. She's taking care of, Papa Bear here.
Yeah.
And you gotta take care of her too. So they had a place to be during the surgery and kind of recover. They stayed an extra night, so they didn't have to drive over the Grapevine at night and possibly get stuck right after surgery.
Right.
So, and that's, hey guys, we do something like that. It makes your heart feel good. It's worth it.
Absolutely.
It's worthwhile.
So $500, you made a huge difference in their
for
life.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I think that's definitely what people need to be involved in.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot, and we need to get a couple of the gun stores involved because
I'd love it.
I mean, really, you auction off a few guns. It's amazing how much money you can raise.
Yeah, and I got a shameless plug for White Horse Tactical.
Absolutely, love those guys.
Those guys are great. They created a rifle this year that knocked your socks off.
Yeah.
I think it went for over $2,500.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. This is White Horse, when Tony now owns White Horse, and one of our retiring lieutenants,
As I say,
Rick Dossie.
Yep.
They came to me and said, "Hey, I know the other shop that we were at before was handling this for you guys. We want to do it, and we want to do it even better."
Yeah.
The one that they did the year before, was incredible. I was like, "There's no way you can top this thing."
Sure.
And this rifle comes out, and people were just in shock by it.
Yeah.
So, in fact, actually, one of our prior president for the foundation ended up auctioning it up and winning it.
Oh, did he?
He wanted it so bad. He's like, there's no way I'm going to get something that's 999 all over it.
Right.
That's this quality
Yeah.
and not buy it myself.
I think they showed that to me when I went in there talking to them a while back.
Yeah.
Because and their gunsmith is awesome.
Oh yeah, Ned he knows his shit.
He's character.
There's no way around. Oh, he's hilarious.
He's
Yeah. He shows me all sorts of cool things that are fun to know. So
he told me, he goes, I don't know that I could come on because I'm going to say stuff that I can't say.
yeah.
You're
For
going to
sure.
have to bleep almost half of what I say.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they were fun. I said they would probably talk to them for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh yeah. They love it.
That's like at Matt Baker's.
Oh okay. BJ Jiu-Jitsu, yeah.
Are you doing jiu-jitsu?
No. I'm not right now. But he's Matt Baker absolutely stepped up. He had mentioned something about getting involved a couple years ago, and I met him somewhere, and he's like, "Hey, make sure you hit me up." And I lost contact with him.
Yeah.
And then I hit him up this year and said, "Hey, dude, we're really struggling this year. This year was hard to get money. We did not necessarily meet the goals we wanted to get for this ride. It was successful, but it wasn't quite where we wanted to be. And going up into it, we were pretty worried." And hit him up and said, "Hey, do you remember you mentioned this? I think it was like 2 years ago." He's like, "Dude, I've been waiting for you to call me forever." And he's like, "Here." And I had a check in my hand in an hour.
Oh, wow.
Ted King and Bobby Ray Woolard at Alpha.
Yep.
Same thing. I said, "Hey guys, this is what's going on. This is what I need."
Yeah.
The guys that own the Poorhouse.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I'm
Chef, I don't know, is it Chef Lino that owns that? Or
No, I don't think
he
so.
just owns the kitchen, I think.
Peterson is one of them, or I don't know. I don't want to get the names wrong.
Right.
But I said, "Hey, will you guys sponsor $1,000?" And they said, "No, we'll sponsor $2,000."
Nice.
And I met Brad Peterson in a parking lot a week later, and he gave us a bottle of tequila for a raffle item, and a check from him, and a check from them for $1,000 each. So, they come out in force, and it's really nice to see that. So,
and that's another place I'd highly recommend eating.
yeah, Poorhouse.
He is on it.
Yeah, Chef Lino used to own a restaurant up by up in our cabin up at the woods.
Oh, okay.
And we used to eat there all the time. He's one heck of a chef.
Yeah, that's
So-
I people go, "You're going to the Poorhouse?" I'm like, "Go eat dinner, then go call me."
It wouldn't be the same style of food, but there used to be that Mediterranean place right there off of California on the south side. I wish I could remember what it's called, but he's now retired. He fills the gap of that. He was like the real fine dining.
Okay. Yeah.
Cafe Med.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
like that level of artistry.
Yep.
Chef Lino puts that into his food.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
And
very
it's
good.
a bar.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that walking in and all the oil field guys and this and
Yeah.
that. You're like, that's damn good food.
Yeah, we got the tomahawk.
Oh,
when
yeah.
we were there one time. And, oh man,
The tables are barely big enough
I know.
for that.
Yeah, that'll hurt you. It was a good meal.
No, it was. It absolutely. I enjoy that. So I'm glad they're doing that.
Yeah.
You know, that's God, Premier. You need to talk to Premier.
Premier.
Equipment Rental.
Oh, okay.
Stan Ellis is old
Stan
company.
Ellis?
I know he sold it now, but
Okay.
Assemblyman Stan. He was on here a while back.
Okay.
He flat support. He's the type that would support these type of things.
Okay. That's our biggest expense is that tent. And,
Yeah.
you know, they do help us. It's Walker Lewis helps us a little
Yep.
bit. But, I mean, you're still talking, you know, you're $10,000 into a tent and tables and chairs.
We know a guy. Let's see
Okay.
if we can.
I would
Let's see if
love
we
that.
can help out with
Yeah.
that one a little
Well,
bit. That's
Yeah.
we'll be calling a couple people right after this.
Yeah, definitely grateful for what Walker Lewis has done for
Absolutely.
us. But, man, if we can work that out to help that out, that'd be great.
Yep, absolutely. Well, very good. What else should we cover? Do we get everything in there you wanted to talk about?
You know,
What do you want people really knowing about Foundation, about law enforcement?
I want people to know that the 999 Foundation is here to help protect the people that are protecting us. As we've talked about mental health and you know, injuries that people have that are life-changing injuries, and all these things that officers are sacrificing their bodies, their minds, their hearts for us every day, that we may go, you know, you may go through your entire life never talking to a police officer in an official manner. There's lots of people that have never talked to a police officer in an official manner. We are all out there for those people, for everybody. We don't care where you live. We don't care what you look like. We don't care what you think, what you call yourself. We're going to show up. You call 911, it's not going to go, oh, wait, this is Joe, and we don't like Joe, so we're not going to go.
Right.
We're going to show up.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times that I've been in, you know, fights on duty, called names, screamed at by people that just told me they never wanted me in their neighborhood and that I was the worst evil there ever was. Till later that night, they call 911 and I show up and I help them.
Right.
I can remember a perfect example of that. If you'd like me to tell you.
Oh, we got tons of time. That's the beauty of a podcast. We
Yeah.
can take all the time we need.
So was working in the gang unit at the time. We were working suppression. There was a gang war going on. It was very active at that time. It was homicides happening regularly. We had come in a little bit early with the idea to get off a little bit early just so we could have more than 25 hours, of time to ourselves. And we went to a person's house, and we had heard through the grapevine, through the people we know, that he was going to be targeted. And we show up. There's like 8 of us that show up, and the conversation isn't get on the ground. It's, hey, dude, this is what's going on. We know they're coming after you. There's no way around it. We know they're coming. We can't park a car here all day long to stop them. Like, we would like to, but like, we just don't have the manpower. What we need you to do is go in your house. You know, we can offer you someplace to go. We can help facilitate moving your family to someplace safe.
Sure.
He wanted nothing to do with us. Screamed at us that we were trespassing
Get
on
off
his
my
driveway.
property.
Oh, he was just the worst person. We even just tried to get him just to simply move back behind his brick wall, so that if anything, they would shoot the brick wall.
Right.
And we're finally back at the barn, and we're kind of getting our stuff down and just kind of starting to wind down, getting ready to go home, and kind of getting our plans together for, you know, the whopping 26 hours of vacation time we all had off, and
Right.
the day off we had. And call goes out, shots fired at such and such location. And we all look at each other and we're like, son of a gun. And so, unbelievably so, me and my partner are like the second or third unit on scene, and we go right to this guy that just hated me. And he's like, man, I'm bleeding bad. Yeah, you are. And we start going to work on him. I mean, we are elbows deep inside this guy. Like, we're working hard on him. And he's, please just save me, help me. And, you know, is everything I could do to look at that guy. I said, man, you hated me 3 hours ago. And now I'm here doing exactly what I promised you I would do.
Yeah.
And you're gonna hate me tomorrow, but I'm here taking care of you today.
Yeah.
And so that's the officers you're dealing with. And I don't mean to bring that to me. I mean, I'm just using myself as an example because I know that I can share a story about myself.
Right.
There's 1,000 other stories from other officers that are probably more in depth and better than mine that do this every day, and they go completely unlooked.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the people we're trying to take care of. You know, when they get hurt, when they bust an elbow, when their knee goes out, their back goes out, you know, there's help for them, but it's hard to get. and it takes time. So we can step in and help them. You know, I think this foundation has a very noble trajectory, and it's well needed. We just need more participation. We need people to get involved. We need, if there's officers out there that are prior law enforcement, like retired, I say retired because we want to make sure that we keep a certain group involved, and maybe not someone that had been fired. Not to say anything negative or think of anybody in particular. Yeah. But or active duty law enforcement, and that goes through. We cover California Highway Patrol, all the local PD agencies, and the Kern County Sheriff's Department. Reach out. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have you come out and volunteer. We're always looking for people to give us a hand. It could be menial jobs for just helping us move the trash cans, empty the trash during the ride, to, get you involved, get you on the executive board, and become a true, a major part of the foundation. So,
well, I hope more and more people get involved in this, and that's, I think about it when we're driving around and I see, a car, a squad car going, or whether it be a sheriff, CHP, BPD. I try and make a point to wave.
Good.
Think about it.
It's hard.
Yeah, because everyone's like, I don't want them to see me.
Yeah, yeah. And I can tell you, in 18 years, the kids waving from the sidewalk.
Yeah,
that's not around much anymore.
It's really not. That's we have a couple of CHP that sit over by where we live, and because we're the area we're in, there's a busy road there.
Yeah,
and I'll see them over there, and it's 110.
Yeah, and
they're over there, and they're on their bike or they're in the car. A lot of times they're on their bike. I'm like, we'll get a couple bottles of water at the fridge. Yeah. Take it over to them, and I'll tell them, hey, thanks for coming. We appreciate you being here. Yeah, because everyone else, you're going to look at, and there's times, like I said, I don't want to see them if I know I'm speeding. Yep. It's and just try and give some grace. Yep. If we can, that's. Well, we'll definitely do that. We'll promote it, and we'll make a couple phone calls so we can get some help.
Well, thank you.
Well, Matt, I appreciate you taking. Oh, one thing. Okay. I always give a gift.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
I always, everybody gets a gift when you come in.
I love it.
And it's hopefully you'll like it. I like them. I think they're pretty cool.
Oh, that's perfect.
Lord knows we all need another cup, right?
I appreciate it. I will have an adult beverage in this tonight.
I bet your wife has about 1,000 of those cups.
Oh my gosh! Oh yeah, they're quite popular with my girls. They got to have one that matches every outfit. So
no, absolutely.
But now I got one that matches mine, so can't complain.
And we have bright pink ones. If she happens to want one, we can work something out.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, if it's for me, listen, I'm a father of 3 girls and a boy. I am not above wearing pink. In fact, my toenails are painted right now.
Absolutely.
So I got no problem with that. I am manly enough to wear pink. That's all I got to say. So
very good.
They loved it, so I love it. So thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
A kind gesture.
All right, we'll wrap it up. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you taking the time.